Now that you have your new bike, there are a couple of jobs that you need to do before you can head out and enjoy that new bike. So here are 7 jobs to do before you ride. Most new bikes come with a pair of what we can only call, let's just slap something on there so there's something on there, grips. And although functional, they're not that very nice. So swapping these out for something that's a lot better quality is a definite must do before you head out. The grips also come in a variety of different thicknesses, and these standard grips tend to be a little bit on the skinny side. If that's your thing, all the power to you, man. But I like a bit of chunk in my hand. So the grips definitely need to be traded out. Ooh, almost spilled my beer. The saddles that most bikes come with these days are pretty good. However, one does need to find a saddle that fits yourself properly. Otherwise, your ride could go from really enjoyable to your legs just wanting to saw themselves off. So making sure that your saddle that it comes on your bike fits properly and is a comfortable saddle is a must do. And that brings us swiftly to the pedals. A lot of mountain bikes don't come with pedals, and when they do, they're just something the shop has put on so that you're able to test ride the bike. Now, a good set of pedals, whether they're clips or flats, is a definite must before you head out on the trails. Your bike is all sparkly and new, and I'm pretty sure you'd like to keep it that way for as long as possible. So something like InvisiFrame or a more robust rubberized frame tape such as this would be a good way to go to keep all of that road rash off of your nice new paintwork. But I decided to run my frame tape just on the down tube to protect it from all of those stones that get kicked up while riding the trail. And also just keep these glorious, beautiful lines of the bike intact. A good mudguard will go a long way to keep the muck out of your face when things get a little sloppy. What I've also been told is that they also help keep a lot of that dust out of the lower section of your stanchions when things are dry. Whether that is true or not, I'm not very sure, but having a good mudguard on your bike is a must. And one thing that really grinds my gears is an untidy cockpit. And most bikes come from the bike shop or mail order with a complete spaghetti incident up on the front end. And so we need to take care of that before we head out. I like to take a nice roll of black insulation tape to all of my cables. Now, a lot of people don't like the tackiness that is left on your cables once you remove the insulation tape. If that is you, you can always take care of the problem with a nice set of subtle cable ties. Basically, to keep that front end looking slick. A lot of people like to use a Garmin to log their rides or use the screen for a bit of navigation when they're out there in the wilderness. Something like this K-Edge stem cap mount is a good option. It's a nice clean way of installing your Garmin onto your bike without ruining a lot of those nice flowing lines of the bike that you paid so much money for. It also doesn't look terribly horrible when your Garmin isn't plugged into it. A small little cautionary tale though is the tiny little grub screws that hold the two parts of the K-Edge together. They're made out of, well, chalk, because these little bolt heads strip at the slightest breeze, so you need to be particularly careful while snugging these down. Now, a lot of bikes these days tend to come with rather oversized bars, most of them at around about 800 mils, which for a lot of people is far too much width. So taking a hacksaw to those bars is a definite must. However, I might suggest that you test it out before you cut. So give your bike a couple of rides unless you are well settled on your particular bar width. Now, I've purposefully left these bars at 800 as well as leaving on the stock grips. And that is because I'm going to be running a review on this bike over time and I'll need to pass comment on how those things work out for me. My normal bar length is 760, so once my first initial period is over, I'm probably going to be taking a hacksaw to these. Now, to finish this list off, is a little something that I've been doing for a very long time, and that is porting something from your old bike over to your new bike. It's usually something very subtle, nothing performance related, like a seat post clamp, stem cap, or even just the old spacers that you have lying around. This is a way that your old trusty steed that has served you for many years gets to live on existentially through your new bike. And it's also a nice way just to make sure that that history follows you around. I actually have bits and pieces on my bikes right from when I first started biking, and every bike that I have carries something from all of the other bikes. And this I find helps to bond the family together. So, as a car drives past, thanks very much for watching this little bit of a video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Prost!